My name is Tom Harrison, and it's my profound privilege this morning to introduce Uncle Paul Spearim, our first speaker. Uncle Paul Spearim is a Gamilaraay traditional custodian. He has worked as a professional presenter and performer whose focus has been on language, storytelling, song, dancing, art, and cultural knowledge across all levels of education. Uncle Paul has been part of an ongoing fight against the desecration of his traditional country, and today he will speak about those efforts and the significance of law and his Homelands Country. We are honoured to have him here today as our first cultural leader, sharing his knowledge and experience as a grassroots activist across southern Queensland and northern New South Wales. Please put your hands together in a warm welcome for esteemed cultural leader, Uncle Paul Spearim, Winanga-li Gii.
Yama. Yama in my language means hello in the Gamilaraay language. So Yaamagaraa Winanga-li Gii, Ngaragay, ngay, dhi-bidi, Cawubuwan, Ngaragay, Wirrayaraay, Gumbu, yulu-gi, yugal, Gamilaraay Walayaabaa, Gumbu. What I just said there is, hello, my name is Winanga-li Gii. And Winanga-li Gii in my language means to listen and also to teach from your G, your heart. And I come from the big light, or door of the Bumaay and Wirrayaraay clans of the Gamilaraay Nation. My songs, stories, dance, art, knowledge, and culture are my connection to my sacred Homelands Country, which is found in southern Queensland from St George, and it goes down into New South Wales, as far as Gumbu, in the middle of New South Wales. Now, especially fighting in the Narrabri, Pilliga, forest and yana-y clans in the Gamilaraay Walayaabaa, my homelands. And one of the struggles we've had over the last 10 to 15 years is with mining companies, especially Santos with the coal seam gas, and also Whitten with coal. And when all the Wonder people came from, when Phillips first landed in Sydney, and they come over the Great Dividing Range, they first found gold, diamonds, opals, crystals. And so they dug them up and they took them from our lands. Then they looked at the land and started bringing their cattle, the sheep, and farming it. So that also destroyed little bits of connection that we had to our country. Because the only people in Gamilaraay that were allowed to touch these precious minerals were women, our ginnas, our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, our daughters. They were the only ones that could touch it. No man in Gamilaraay is allowed to touch these minerals. Yet when they first came over the Great Dividing Range in 1810, so between 1810 and 1830, there was a major massacre that took place in our land, because they saw our land, our sacred, what we consider our Walayaabaa, our sacred homelands, they saw it as a resource for them. We didn't look at it as a resource. We looked at it as being a part of our Walayaabaa, our Homelands Country, that connected us through our G and Dua, our heart and our soul, to our country. Because it starts with you. If you can love, respect, and understand yourself, you can love and respect and understand your sister, your brother, your babies. And then it goes into respecting, loving and understanding your clan group. Loving, respecting and understanding your nation. So here I am on Bumaay Country here now, and had Auntie there, thank you very much. And another connection I've got to this country here, my grandson is only 10 months old, he was born down here, and he lives with his father is Auntie's nephew there now. And so this is a great honour for me to stand up here on this country now and speak. But I don't claim this country, even though it's my grandson's country. I'm a guest, a law guest. In that language we call it Narrabri, which means I'm a law guest of this country here. I live in the country, or Brisbane. I'm a law guest to those people there. I can't claim their land, I can't take their land, I can't take their law, because I am Gamilaraay. I belong to my country, or the Gamilaraay Nation. And as I said just a while ago there, one of the battles we have in Gamilaraay country is all the desecration that's happening over the last 10 years with Whitehaven coal and especially Santos. Now myself and my niece now, Nginda, her parents, her mum and grandparents and uncles have been fighting alongside me. We've been arrested, locked up, bashed in jail cells, and looking at major fines and criminal offences for protecting our land. I mean, that's ridiculous. How can we be arrested for protecting what we are a part of? And they took us to court and everything. We were looking at 7 years jail. And we go, come on, you're kidding. You're taking me and going to lock me up for 7 years for protecting something that I am a part of? And this court case that I was involved with Santos and Whitehaven, it took about 4 years before we got a judgment in our favour. And the judge reckons to me there now, when we went to court, he goes, okay, Mr. Spearim, can you stand up in the dock? And I said, no way in the world. I don't recognise that jurisdiction. My law is Gamilaraay law. You don't understand my law. So I stood near the entrance of the courthouse and said, I will stand here and you can hear my yarn, my talk, my song, my dance, my knowledge of who I am as a Gamilaraay man. At first he wouldn't go for it, but then because I was persistent, myself and my niece's uncle Linda and a few other old black ones there, we said, no, we don't recognise your law. Why should I give up what is my conscious connection to Gamilaraay just so I can appease you? Just so that I can appease the white concept of LAW, not Diri-a-Gummu, because Diri-a-Gummu is my law in my language. And that's what makes me who I am today. That's what made my mum, my dad, and my ancestors. Our Diri-a-Gummu, our law. Because once we start to give that law away, they will take it like they took our gold, our diamonds, our opals, our minerals, our land, our coal. And we'll know about the Great Artesian Basin. Underneath the Gamilaraay Nation itself, the aquifers there flow. But we've also got 7 rivers that are found under the ground. And all this destruction that's happening with our land, with coal seam gas and coal, once they tank and get into those 7 rivers, it's going to wake up Gurrier. And Gurrier, in our language, he travelled all around Australia. He is a crocodile, but he's also known as the rainbow serpent. So when he comes up, he puts his legs in, and they think it's a rainbow serpent travelling through the land. And one of our major waterways there, which is called the Yaamagaraa, River, this is where Gilay, and we call him the moon, where he comes from. And he's very important to us about gully, about our water. So he fell in love with the 7th sister. He got greedy. He was married to one sister, and he said, no, I'm going to take the rest of them, the 6 of them. So he was punished, he was put up there, Gilay, the moon. So every time there's a full moon, he comes back and he's trying to track all the men there now. You don't send them blind so he can take your woman away. But Yaamagaraa, Gully, and Warraba the turtle is a very important story that belongs to the Yaamagaraa River. And right on the Yaamagaraa River, we've got Whitehaven coal and Santos. And hopefully my niece here, when she gets up and has a little bit of yarn after me, we might be able to show some images of Whitehaven's pump. It's a massive pump that goes into the Yaamagaraa and it's pumping out all this water. 2 weeks ago we had major rain in our country and this yana-y, Yaamagaraa, was full. Now it's completely empty because Whitehaven have turned their pumps on and they're just sucking all this water out of our gully. When you cry, that's your gully. When it rains, that's gully. Inside your body, 98% of your body is full of gully, water. So gully, water is very important to our existence and who we are. Santos, another major mining company there now, in our country there now, not far from Whitehaven, are poisoning the waters with all their contamination. And a lot of their poisons from their coal seam gas sites are leaching into the Yaamagaraa. The Yaamagaraa flows down into the Barwon. The Yaamagaraa River flows into the Barwon. Then it comes all the way down towards these countries here. So water and the protection of water and our land, our Walayaabaa, is very, very important to our existence, who we are. Because it not only belongs to my Gii, my heart, and my dua, my soul, it belongs to every single one of us. So we all have to stand up and say, hey, Gummu means no. Gummu means no. Can we all say that, please? Gummu means no.
Gummu means no.
I can't be no. Gummu means no.
Gummu means no.
Because the protection of our water and our existence is real for every single one of us. Every single one of us. When we walk on other people's country, on their dhaarwaan, their ground, we have to watch and look where we're going to track, where we're walking. Because them other old people walk in front of us. And when we walk in our own Walayaabaa and Gamilaraay, we still have to look where and watch and understand where we're walking. Because that's our connection back to our Walayaabaa, to our gully, to our dhaarwaan, to our existence as Gamilaraay people. You know, I'm going to get my niece to come up here now, Nginda. And Nginda is one of our really strong black women of Gamilaraay that are starting to stand up and fight for the next generation of black people in our country. And she's going to sing through that.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name's Whitten. I'm a Gamilaraay woman from Gunnedah in northwest New South Wales. Whitehaven Coal, Santos and Shenhua. We have these three major threats to our country today. Whitehaven and Santos we've been dealing with for some time. Whitehaven Coal is currently trying to expand their Vickery Mine project. It will be a whole 2 kilometres from the Narrabri River. They granted the Dorothy and McKellar Association in Gunnedah $500,000, I think it is, to look after the gardens of a homestead that once belonged to the woman in this poem. Who wrote this poem. We have nothing. We have nothing except what they've taken from us and what they continue to take from us. They destroyed 13 major sites in their Maules Creek project. We put in a Section 9 and a Section 10, which is a protection order. Section 9 is a stop work order, and the Section 10 is a protection order. At the time, Greg Hunt was the Environmental Minister, and he passed that back constantly, backwards and forwards among all the different departments, until it was completely irrelevant because our sites were gone. So burial sites, birthing sites, there were men's and women's sites, old campsites. We had, they brought people in from other clan areas to say these sites weren't important or that they weren't sites. Archaeologists, everybody is for sale when it comes to our culture and heritage. Santos, we're more likely to beat Santos than we were ever going to be beating Whitehaven Coal. Given the political influence that Whitehaven has, and Whitehaven also, they have ties to Adani. So they're big boys in the game, Whitehaven Coal, and they're not in it to lose. Our latest project, or our latest fight, I should say, it's their latest project, is the Shenhua coal mine. We have recently launched a court case against the Environmental Minister Susan Lake because she passed judgment saying that the potential jobs that could be generated from this mine are more important than the protection and the preservation of our culture and heritage. We were not even allowed to go out to some of these sites. Some of these sites are places where I would never have been allowed to walk. Our old uncles wanted to take us out and show us what these sites look like, where they are today. So in touch with our stories and what we're supposed to learn, what we're supposed to go forward and teach our children and our children's children. We would have used that, right? They're allowed to take 10 people with them. And there was that many elders there that day. So we never got to see those sites. We've been out there since, but we were never allowed by the mining company to go out there and have those yarns told to us by our people, to walk hand in hand with our old people and have them tell that story. That's something that nobody else can give us. And they're going to take it away. My kids will never hear that yarn. Not the way it was told to me. Because by that time, they're going to cut up our grinding grooves, they're going to rip out our sites, and what they can move, they're going to move. Their idea is they're going to slice up these big grinding grooves, these big blocks of sandstone, they're going to move it, and in 30 years they're going to put that back. I can tell you now that's not going to happen. Anybody that knows anything about sandstone knows that once you remove it, it's not going to stay intact. And anybody that knows anything about coal mines knows that in 30 years, they're going to put in for an extension or an expansion or something else. There's no water in my river at the moment. I went home a couple of weeks ago and it rained on the Thursday. By Saturday, that river was bone dry. We are literally sitting in the middle of the river in the dirt. Not a drop of moisture in it. Whereas a few days beforehand, there was that much water in it that people couldn't drive without having to pull over because there was that much water on the road. By Saturday, bone dry. Whitehaven Coal has a pump. They have a pump in the river and the bottom of it is this big, as big as this desk that I'm standing at. And it's there, and the minute there's anything to suck out of the river, Whitehaven sucks it up. Our dams in the area, I think was at less than 8% last time I looked. The only time they let water out of the dam is if Whitehaven Coal needs it, or if the cotton farms further down the track need it. So they release water for cotton, Whitehaven takes its cut along the way, and the rest goes down there to the big boys in the cotton farms. We have been delivering water for drinking, for cooking, all of that sort of stuff to our communities since last year, the end of last year, because there's no water. I recently heard that they're now going to drop another bore in Wagga. What I want to know is why. Who allows people to make these decisions? All the money that will be spent to drop this bore into the ground, and for what? They're already on bore water in Wagga. It's undrinkable. It's undrinkable. People that bath in that water come out with red, itchy blotches, and it's just not okay. They have all these methods of shutting us down, of making our lives unlivable, whether it's in their towns or out on our lands. They want us in the cities. They want us just to become fully assimilated people that live everything their way. They don't want anything left of us as blackfellas. As a Bumaay woman, they don't want me to know my yarns. They don't want me to sing my songs. And they sure as hell don't want me to pass it on to my people, to my daughters, to my sons, and to my grandchildren. How is that okay? What are we going to do to change this? I shouldn't have to stand here today. I have no shame in admitting that I regularly break down in tears thinking, how the hell am I going to get up and do this again today? How will I do it tomorrow? And then I look at my kids and I think, well, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. None of us have a choice. So Shenwan's about to be the last nail in the coffin for Gamilaraay mob. We're completely surrounded on all sides now by Whitehaven Coal and a little bit further down the track by Santos. And Santos wants to drop in 850 wells. Now, it's a fact that all wells leak, all of them. It doesn't matter if they don't leak today, they might tomorrow, and they certainly will in a tomorrow and a few days' time. Who's going to do the upkeep? Who's going to look after them miles and miles and miles of pipelines? It's not possible. It's simply not possible to continue the way we are today. The network feeds the Murray-Darling Basin. We have recharge areas all over the Gamilaraay country for the Artesian Basin. And it's dying. It's being depleted. This is not a black or a white issue. This is a wrong and a right issue. This is an issue for everyone, because without water, we all die. And how long do you think it's going to be before that need gets to the cities? Because what's going to happen when there's no water in the country towns and everybody from the country towns has to move to the cities? Look how overcrowded we are already. Look how low on resources we are already. You know, like this mine, this Chinese government-owned mine. This is not a Chinese company mine. It's owned by the People's Republic of China. Okay, it's going to be huge. They've got 35 square metres. 4,000 hectares of that is fertile agricultural land. So it's a big food bowl out there. Them farmers out there, they feed you fellas. You know, when you go into the supermarket, you'll get stuff off the shelf. It's these fellas that grew it. They can't grow it no more. We're about to have, well, we already are, in a global food shortage. Tell me, who's going to help Australia all the way over here? They're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to care about us. You're going to have the Chinese mob, the Indian mobs, they're all going to go home and leave us holding the bag. A bag full of death and destruction. So, we need your help. We all need everybody to start standing up. It's great to come to things like this, but unless it comes down to action on the ground, you know, occupying our lands, we need people to come and stand with us to win these fights, because they're not going to be won in places like this or in courtrooms in the cities. You know, we've jumped through all the hoops, and every time we have a win, they move the goalposts. So we played the game the way the system wants us to play it. And we beat them. And then they change the rules and we start all over again. So it's time to flip the rule book on its head and start doing things our way. But for us to do that and succeed, we need everybody. We need numbers on the ground. So we need everybody to come and stand in solidarity and unity with us so that we can win. We can win the fight. Not just for our people, you know, and believe me, you know, as the aunties were talking about when they were doing this yarn up here before, you know, it is a gift. Our culture is a gift. But we need to show that you are worthy of receiving that gift too. Thank you.
Thank you, my baby. Well, I'll just get on my little yarn here. So, my Gamilaraay people have a life's warrowing, which is a small pathway. From the day we are born, we are placed in the dhaarwaan, in the dirt, to get all those minerals from the dirt to go inside our Gii and dua, our heart and soul, into our body. Because then we belong to that dhaarwaan, we belong to that ground which is found in Gamilaraay country. It begins when we place our painted left foot on this pathway. This teaches all Gamilaraay people that it firstly begins with consciousness, law and wisdom. These pathways that we have the honour of travelling on, bestow on us the sacred teachings and concept of good. Good. Belong. Then Winanga-li, understand. Then nama-mali, teach. Then Gumbu, speak. And finally, Ngaragay, knowledge, nature or epistemology. These teachings have always been strictly taught and adhered to by all within your age, gender and social Gamilaraay demographic throughout your life, that you would move forward in your learning when the time was right. Because everybody had a position within Gamilaraay. You were chosen from birth. Oh, you're going to be a songman. Oh, you're going to be a lawman. Oh, you're going to be a painter. But throughout your life, if you show knowledge and understanding, you could be chosen to be one of these important people, the law people, the holders of knowledge. This would again give consent for all Gamilaraay people to place their left foot again on another sacred dhaarwaan, which is a bigger pathways. Which is a bigger pathway to life and learning. Then gu belong becomes gu belonging and to coming from a greater existence. Then Winanga understand becomes Winanga-li Gii, understanding of your dulu or a higher ground, higher levels of awareness. Namamali teach becomes Namamali Gii, the teachings of belonging, of understanding, of speaking, and of knowledge. Then Guli, speak, becomes Guli Gii, speaking from our belonging of understanding, of teaching, of knowledge. Then we have Ngaragay, which becomes Ngaragay Gii, an epistemology theory for the highest level of knowing your belonging, understanding, teaching, speaking, and knowledge. Having an awareness of my traditional connection to my Homelands Country, this ensures that I truly understand the utmost importance that I and my Murray people must place on protecting and preserving my spiritual past, the present and the future, for the next generation of proud Gamilaraay people who choose to stand up against the destruction of a sacred Homelands Country. I can only hope that the future for my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren, and my future descendants brings a positive change from the ongoing desecration of our sacred lands. Within my sacred Homelands Country, there have been some major sites of significance that have been destroyed by Whitehaven Coal, Santos, and other mining companies. One very important site that was destroyed was a very important birthing ground. In Gamilaraay, we have 4 clan groups. In those clan groups, there are 4 major birthing sites. Whitehaven Coal dug and destroyed one of our major birthing grounds, just so they could put their railing and connect it up to the railway line that goes to Newcastle to the port. This is our birthing ground. This is where I get my connection to the concept of matriarchy, to my yina, to my Winanga, my mother, my grandmother. But it's important that we understand our connections to our mothers, to our fathers. And it's through these birthing grounds. As I said, from the day you were born, you were put in that dirt, and that dirt was rubbed over you. Then you were put in that smoke, when you were smoked by Sandy. All that goes into your G and your dua, to make sure that you are connected to your existence as a Gamilaraay person. Now, this birthing site was moved so that Whitehaven could build from within its mine site extension of the railing to the old existing rail line. Also within this mine area, there were several large slabs of ancient grinding groups that were dated well over several thousand years. Well, actually been dated over 40,000 years. And as my niece said now, Nginda was saying, where Shenwa, a Chinese government-owned mine, there are over 500 grinding groups on this particular site. Whitehaven, for example, on the Yaamagaraa River, took these grinding groups and put them in the local park of Bolgrine. And what's so disgusting is this park is named after Major Mitchell, one of the most dangerous and most destructive, evil, white explorers that travelled through Australia. So you've got his plaque sitting here that acknowledges his travels through Gamilaraay country. And on this side you've got these grinding groups that dogs are walking on and pissing on and the kids are playing on, because when you understand law, you're only allowed to go to those grinding groups when you need something. If I was going to sharpen that spear or make an axe, I can only go there when I need it. I can't go there and say, hey, look, let's go over here now. No. You have to follow your customary law that acknowledges why and how you can walk on that country. So these grinding groups are sitting in this local park, and it's absolutely disgusting. Over 18 of these grinding groups, slabs, were taken out. These 2 are sitting in this local park. The others, we don't know where they are. And we're still trying to find out now where Whitehaven take these grinding groups too, because that's a part of our law. Everyone knows that, okay, if you want to talk about philosophy or the understanding of words, they are our words that were found in those grinding groups. They are our words which we carve into trees. So that is our connection to who we are as Gamilaraay people. And now they're gone, they're missing. Our sacred grinding grooves were dumped in a park, as I said before. And the struggle we have today, Shenhua has been given approval by the minister to set up a coal mine. And they are going to be big. And Brother Adrian now is fighting against Adani. And we all know that that's going to be big, that mine itself. That's exactly the same as Shenhua. It's going to be massive. I took my son out to Moree about 15 years ago. We stood on the hill at Whitehaven, and about 200 yards away, there's this tree, and it was standing there. And I said to my son, I said, look, there's that old law tree. We came back 3 weeks later, and it was gone. So there's another part of my connection, my conscious understanding, my gu, my bina, my meal, my smell, my taste, my connection has just been wiped out because they wanted to extend their mind. If we was to walk across the road to the town hall and destroyed that, what would happen to us? If he was to go to Canberra and burn down Parliament House, what would happen there to us? This is our law, our knowledge, our understanding, our existence of who we are is being systematically destroyed in the name of the almighty dollar. Because that's the reality. It's all about bungu. It's all about money. It's not about my G, my heart. It's not about my soul, my doer. It's about what profits that these mining companies can make. And as Linda mentioned there also, after they found all these minerals in our land, they built these massive big copper farms. And a lot of our water, and as you all might know, the water is an industry. It's worth $30 to $40 billion a year. So water is very, very important to the people that have got the money to buy and lease and own water. Our gully should be free. Our gully is us. Our gully is you. Well, I'd like to say, yana-y, yalu. Thank you very much. Gabienda. Yalu.